What's going on there, guys? We're back with another one. Got to talk about Ryan Clark and Emmanuel Acho's reaction to this Nico Iamaleava situation. And I'm going to give you a little bit of back history based off this ESPN article that's covering the situation going on in Tennessee as he's now in the transfer portal looking for another team. People saying that it's ruining the college game. NIL, transfer portal, those two things. Kids don't have to sit out, and there's another dollar amount out there that people may go and seek, which I think is good because you see so many people get injured, so many people games not translating to the next level. Being able to get it in college, let me get a little bit off them billions. So, if I was a student athlete for your program, say I go out in the workforce and may not get the job I want or nothing right away, I'm sitting on a few mil, and if I can invest that, turn that to a business of my choice or anything. So I'm happy that the kids, because let's just say this, it's always been professional sports if the coaches is making millions of dollars. The kids just wasn't getting compensated. So I'm happy that they're getting their money. But let's look at Nico's situation. It says Tennessee is moving on from starting quarterback Nico Iamaleava, sources told ESPN, in the wake of his decision to not attend practice Friday amid NIL contract discussions with the school. Volunteers coach Josh Hoople, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I hope I'm saying it right. Hoople informed the team at meeting Saturday morning. Tennessee plays its spring game Saturday afternoon. Sources said Iamaleava missing practice Friday proved to be the tipping point. It's the state of college football, Hoople said, of the situation on a volunteer network broadcast. At the end of the day, no one is ever bigger than the program. That includes me too. And so it says Iamaleava, he notified the offensive coordinator Friday that he was in the process of filing his paperwork and planned to enter the transfer portal when it opens Wednesday. So got that going on. It says the standoff between the two sides stemmed from Iamaleava's contract, and the school decided to cut ties after those talks emerged publicly this week. Iamaleava subsequently skipped practice. Tennessee was aware Iamaleava's representatives had reached out to at least one other school, Oregon, prior to the start of spring practice. The day before the winter portal ended in January, Iamaleava's representatives asked for his deal to increase to the $4 million range, but Tennessee didn't want to redo his deal. We weren't going to flinch this time either. That's what a source told ESPN. Iamaleava was making $2.4 million on a contract that was reported to be $8 million when he signed it, but he started receiving payments when he was in high school, and the total value of the contract would have been closer to $10 million over the life of the deal. So I just wanted to add that and preface these videos with that, give you that information. He started receiving the payments in high school. What an annual increase from 2.4 million to 4 million. And so, yeah, man, here we are. But let's check out what these guys had to say.
Tennessee head coach Josh Heupel informing the team that they are parting ways, dismissing whatever it is. Quarterback Nico Iamaleava is one of the situations that shows you leadership matters. Everybody's going to say that the NIL and the transfer portal era is ruining college football. It's not ruining college football. But what it is distorting the good feeling people used to have around it, because the former president of the NCAA, Mark Emmert, and the NCAA wouldn't do what was right. They wouldn't give a player or players the opportunity to earn money off of their name, image, and likeness. And because they refuse to do that, now we have a situation where Nico can see Carson Beck, who underachieved at Georgia, go make $4 million in Miami and say, oh, I want that. And if you believe somebody outside of Tennessee ain't told him that they're going to pay him more than what Tennessee is giving him, then you're out your mind. And so now, because Mark Emmert and the NCAA didn't do the one thing the NCAA was created to do back in the early 1900s by Teddy Roosevelt, which is to protect players, because they wouldn't do that, we now have a situation where you have people on the outside thinking Iamaleava is greedy because he wants more than $2 million or $2.4 million. Well, if that's what you're seeing in a capitalist era or in a capitalist society where there is no rules, there is no regulations, because the NCAA refused to do what's right, why is he wrong? And now you make the University of Tennessee, you make their football team, you make their head coach make a decision to dismiss this kid or make a decision to part ways with this kid, because at some point they got to put their foot down because you've given them no rules and regulations to say, okay, son, this is all we can do. This is all anybody can do. Now make a decision on what's the best place for you to grow, for you to learn, and for you to succeed in the future. And that's why leadership matters. That's why representation matters. That's why you got to say, if something is right, let's do our best to do the right thing. And I'm sure that Nico's going to end up somewhere and get a lot of money, but will that be the best place for him? And so now, in an era where these student athletes can capitalize off of who they are, they have to make sure that the people around them are not trying to capitalize on them. Because for them boys, hey man, go get your money and get all the money that you think you're worth. But it's sad that you don't feel protected enough, or you weren't protected enough. So making that decision on money can be the best decision for you to be the best man and player going forward. Nico did the right thing. I think Tennessee did too. I just wish the NCAA and Mark Emmert would have did the same years ago.
I hate where we are in the state of college football. We got to address this Nico Iamaleava situation. Now, first off, who the heck am I? Because in this day and age, it's all about the messenger. I am the foremost lover of college football. Played at the University of Texas. Played in a national championship game. Third-team All-American. And now cover college football for 12 hours every Saturday during football season on Fox. But it's not about me. Let's talk about Nico. I have 3 primary points. Number 1, shame on you, NCAA. You got us here. Because of your incompetence and because of your persistence in trying to continually take advantage of the college athlete, now we are in this situation where the college athlete has to overcorrect. That's the first thing. Second thing, now to you, the college athlete, be mindful. Do not give up what you want most for what you want now. What do I mean? Often what you want most is to play in the National Football League. But what you want now is to make money in college. I get it. Do both if you can, but be mindful. Don't give up what you want most, athlete, for what you want now. Nico Iamaleava, your coach kicked you off the team because you wanted to hold out. You want to act like a pro. He's going to treat you like a pro. Cautionary tale. Remember, DJ Uiagalelei. DJ Uiagalelei, 5-star all-everything quarterback at Clemson. But DJ didn't necessarily pan out as we thought he would. Goes from Clemson to Oregon State. Goes from Oregon State to Florida State. But remember, DJ popped off to the scene an incredible freshman game at Notre Dame. Just be mindful. Don't give up what you want most for what you want now. College athletes, you still got a lot to prove. Then lastly, what's the solution? For me, it's very simple. Don't fight over peanuts. Peanuts is a collective deals, millions of dollars. We're talking billions of dollars. SEC, ESPN negotiated a $3 billion deal last year. Well, in the NFL, the salary cap is predicated upon the TV deal. I believe that college athletes, you should be fighting over the TV revenue. Every college program should have a general manager. That general manager, based upon the TV revenue and what's been allocated to that university, should now be able to negotiate the different contracts of the athletes based upon the billion, with the B, dollar deal, not the millions of dollars with collectives. If we want to figure out NIL on top of that, then let's do that. But athlete, you're fighting over the peanuts instead of focusing on the meal. I do not like where college athletes and college athletics have gone. It may not necessarily be ruined, but it's definitely disfigured beyond recognition. Oh, I can't stand it.
Go get your money, young man. Brian Clark did say something interesting that I did dwell on, as he was saying it. Iamaleava, hopefully he's making this decision for himself. Hopefully ain't people around him. He's trying to make a decision that others were considering themselves, like people that he respected, he consulted. Hopefully that decision wasn't more for them, or they didn't give advice based off what they want to see and how it could benefit them, but more so how it could benefit that young man going forward. This is where we are in the state of college athletics. And college athletics is now professional. And it's professional across the board. Like I said, it's always been professional because coaches were making this kind of money. And kids, they were saying a scholarship and an education is good enough. And it's good, and don't let me take away from it. But, those billions of dollars you bringing in, basketball, football being the main sources of your institution's income a lot of times, as it pertains to athletics, let me see a little bit more of that. Just a little bit more. Ain't gonna kill you. And I promise you, ain't got nothing on what I'm bringing in. You're selling my name, image, and likeness. All these years, I think back to the Ed O'Bannon thing with the NCAA that far back, to the '90s, and that's why we hadn't been getting college basketball and college football games for a while. At one point because um, they weren't putting the names on the jerseys, but we knew who that was. We would pick the team based off who was on that team. The players would play just like them, look just like them, but it wouldn't be them. You know what I'm saying? And so I see what Ryan Clark is saying there. The system has a lot to figure out. Um, and I mean, I think the women's college game got a lot to figure out because you seen Olivia Miles just transferred from Notre Dame. She can make more staying in college. So the level below the top level, you can make more money at. Isn't that something, right? They have more of a problem in the WNBA because the brands of the college teams are bigger than the brands of the pro teams, and it's more money still per year in college. And what's the base salary? The base salary is what, 80 something or something like that, 70 something thousand for the WNBA player. I can't remember exactly, but it's five figures. And I think Olivia, she's gonna make a few million next year by going over there to TCU. And, so they have a bigger problem. But, back to Nico's situation, if he ends up in Oregon, obviously Nike deals probably be abound if you end up at that school. Um, I don't know, man. You just got to make sure, though. The main thing is still the main thing. How does it fit for you as a football player? All these things come into play. Roster construction, what they run, what your strengths and weaknesses are, the coaching staff. I have no doubt that you can do well under Dan Lanning. You'll probably be in the college football playoff, etc. But you do have to consider these factors before jumping out the window and making these moves. But yeah, man, I want to know what you guys think about this in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, peace.